After all the reports, all the tests, all the studies, many families still don't believe they've been told the truth, still don't believe anyone has had a decent look for the answers. Many are convinced their illnesses have been caused by 2,4,5-T or 2,4-D. And worse than that, they believe those exposed to the chemicals have passed health problems down through the generations, to their children and grandchildren and beyond.
I would say all of my children were exposed to it, because I was taking it home on my overalls in the car. The wife was having to shake my overalls out to get it out before she put it into the washing machine.
Bill French featured in the earlier part of this program. He lost his wife, a child, and many of his other children have developed serious illnesses. So too have his grandkids. Bill brought his family up in New Plymouth. For many years, he worked directly with agrochemicals.
I can still smell the stuff. Only got to think about it and I can smell it.
Cherie is 38. She is the daughter of Bill French.
I've had different kinds of tumours. I've lost my spleen and nearly all of my pancreas now. I've had my spine operated on and had discs and things removed from another operation, and I've also had an operation on my groin from another.
Like her father, Cherie worries more about her children's health than her own.
My oldest has hearing and kidney problems. My one after that, she was born with a defect in her legs. The next one was Hannah, and she has hearing problems. And then there's Joseph, who was born with cerebral palsy. You know, it's like if you knew, maybe then you wouldn't have children. Maybe you wouldn't. And there's no guarantees. No guarantees it's not going to happen to them. And the worst part is, for me, is, sorry, if I get sick, who's going to be there for them? No one will be left for them, because everybody's sick. And just, I don't know, how do you tell them that you've given them something or made them sick? And my dad's lived with the same feeling. And until I got sick and my kids started getting sick, I didn't even understand that. And it makes it easier to understand why Dad feels like he does sometimes.
She was diagnosed with Down syndrome. Also, she had a major heart condition, which was...
Cherie's daughter, Lakin. 4 months ago, she buried her baby, named Letitia.
It's put me off, like it's like to get pregnant again, I'd be completely scared.
Letitia would have been the 4th generation of this family to have suffered illness or genetic defects. Father, daughter, granddaughter, great-granddaughter.
And how far is it going to keep going?
What do they say when you say it's because of my dad's working with chemicals?
They just say you can't prove it. How do you know? How, you know, it hasn't been proven, or... and it's like, how can something be proven when it's been hidden? Basically, that's what it is. You know, and that's why I said we're a breed of mutants that have been hidden.
There are many, many families who lived or worked in Paritutu who have similar stories.
I've been seeing the big picture. I've started to see the tree. And I'm seeing this person over here, and he's got 4 children, and 3 of them have got cancer, and his brother's got this and that. And you start putting that out there, and you think, man, when you get the big picture, it's horrific. But if you keep it fragmented, then it doesn't have the power. And I'm sure that those who don't want this to be seen understand that.
Gary Green too is fighting for his life and believes this plant is the reason why. Dow AgroSciences, as it is now called, declined to be part of this story. Instead, they referred us to their website and to government studies. But Gary Green has a message for them.
Stop avoiding this issue, take responsibility, pick up the baton, and look after the mess that you've made and clean it up and take care of the people you've affected.
Why? So we asked Dr. Mark Jacobs, Director of Public Health, why recompense has never been sought from Dow.
Well, my understanding of that is that, and I mean that was another question that clearly I had. I mean everybody would have that question. We did get advice on that, and the advice was that as far as we can tell, that Dow were operating within the permissions that they were given at the time, which then means that there isn't the capacity to try and seek that legal redress in that sort of formal sense.
Hey, so was the US Army in Vietnam.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the advice that we've had, which is why...
The New Zealand taxpayer, that 245T was subsidised heavily. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. The New Zealand taxpayer they have paid for it to be subsidised. They've paid for all these health studies, and now they're paying for health care. Why does Dow get off this scot-free?
I mean, that's not a closed book. If more information comes to light, I mean, we will continue to revisit that.
Will you pursue that? Because at the very least, Dow knew, they knew that it caused systemic injury. They knew what it did from 1965. This department knew what it did from 1971.
Well,
why are we paying?
Well, all I can say is that if we get more information, and we're very keen to receive any new information.
How much information do you want, Dr. Jacobs?
If we get information, good information that potentially could stand up in court, then we would really want to we would re-examine that whole issue.
Well, for a start off, this is wrong. They're saying that their product was contaminated with only 1 part per million from 1948 to 1972. That's been used by the Ministry of Health for years. That's wrong. That's completely flawed.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether that's right or not, but, I mean, if you have evidence of that, then please pass it on.
Outspoken chairman of Dow US Chemicals, C.A. Gerstacker, is frequently quoted as saying he dreamt of an island where multinational business could operate beholden to no nation or society. The big question is, did he find such an island?